If the extra the sabotages and the Azendel's gift definitely help out.
Yeah,
Additional
resolving that
challenge
Azendel's
tempest.
gift just feels unreal. How
Yeah, and it's something that Kamado has to constantly play around as well, constantly leaving mana open to to decay it or to protect himself against it.
and we didn't really see it there till the very end, but you saw Kamado really struggling to just like kind of work around the
Hmm.
threat of that card, right? Unix never actually had to play it
That's
for it to
right.
do its thing, right?
Yeah,
He
no, it's
was
definitely just the threat of activation. The threat of casting it was all it took. That and then of course just the Varas are going to be difficult for Kamado to fight through anyway. That's probably Elix's best source of card advantage. That'd be probably his only source that can rival what Chalice can do. And so if Elenix can find Vara this game, Kamado's probably going to be in trouble again.
I mean, it seems like Elenex's top end was all just very difficult for Kamado to deal with.
That is true. The Chalice deck is really designed to beat up on lower to the ground aggressive decks and some less grindy mid range decks.
so like Victor mentioned earlier, with the child control deck being so prevalent in the meta, it seems like Unix was ready with his sideboard to beat it, and maybe not his main deck, right? Maybe he's working on other things. But it does feel like he's in much better position post sideboard.
He definitely has some extra tools post sideboard. I still think like this last game could have gone very similarly in game one. Because he like in the first two games he never saw any Varas, and honestly, like, as much of a beating as Azendel's gift is, Vara is really what cemented Elenix's victory in the last two
Right. I
games.
mean, it really is an insane response to clearing the board, just slamming that down. Kamado's getting beat down, not able to establish any creatures on board to activate that chalice. His 1/1 was removed via Vara's favor. So 5 power available currently for Kamado, 6 for Elunex. Kamado will play a sigil to go up to 6 power. So 4/5, not pairing well against a 3/5 unit with Deadly. But
It's not, but it is a Kothon the Wanderer, and it's going to be able to ultimate next turn to give it self flying, or I guess he's just going to trade off both with. Oh,
he only gets to trade off
he
the
silenced it, yeah.
because he gets to silence it.
So
And that's a really heads up play here from Kamado. And knowing that Kamado's tapped out, that Azendel's gift is coming out to play.
But he has a decay at the ready, so
Ready to blow up that Azendel's gift, and that gains up 3 life and removes that relic, right?
correct. So he's going to fetch up another sigil here and just kind of go to town on the beats. And we do see a Champion of Cunning in Elenix's hands coming down now. There's really not a whole lot else that Elenix has going on. He does have a removal spell, which can't kill the Kothan right now, and a Withering Witch.
Okay, so Victor was the newest at this game. So are you able to kind of follow along what's going on here? Were you about what point, about which game do you think that you really started to pick up what was going on?
Probably about the end of game 2. I think I really started obviously I still have to read all these cards because I don't know them specifically, but the general mechanics and flow of the game I felt I picked up after watching a couple of games.
Okay, so who would you say is advantaged in this position?
Right now, so
knowing both players' hands and
yeah. Honestly, I think that Kamado's actually pretty good here because he gets to, he's got more guys, he's got more resources in hand. Elenex's hand seems very anemic. He's got, the 2 lands sitting there and 1 2-cost spell versus, a fistful of live cards.
Yeah, all those cards do seem quite live for Kamado.
But he is going down to 8 life this turn. And drawing 2 cards really helps here.
Potentially, there's a potential block from Kothan. Kothan does have an ability called Endurance, which allows him to be readied every turn.
And it looks like he is blocking.
Yeah, I think he's doing that just to kind of preserve his life total. Another champion,
another one coming down. That's very strong.
And those are, I mentioned it before, but those are specifically really good against the Chalice deck because it forces them to, they have to kind of 2-for-1 themselves at least in order to deal with them. They have to spend a Silencer or a Vanquish or something to pop the initial Aegis. I don't know
And that
why
Silencer is being dead to Harsh Rule here.
Yeah, and I don't know why he chose to silence the weaker one, but
yeah, I'm not really sure about that play either.
Well, we'll see that Azendel's Gift come back down and no response available for Kamado.
Not
At
yet.
this time.
He can draw more cards.
So, but he is going to have to discard his hand at the end of this turn.
Yep, looks like he
And-
decided to play the 2 Sandstorms Titans instead
Again,
of
the same
digging
play
for an
we had
answer.
before last time. And I like this play because it does trade off with that 15 power.
yeah. And the thing is, yeah, he can be very aggressive with these Titans because they're going to ready themselves on his turn anyway.
They do have endurance.
Mhm.
Okay, so
So that's one of the better cards that he could have drawn.
right,
in this
because that
scenario.
does draw him another card, and Chalice will draw him a second one.
And unfortunately, he loses the Channel the Tempest, and he loses the Island's Favor as well, which is a very reactive card. But it looks like unless Kamado draws exactly Channel the Tempest, or unless Unex draws exactly Channel the Tempest, looks like Kamado's going to win.
Okay, so
It looks like he's drawn lands the last couple of turns.
Yeah.
So he's going to go and try to trade with the Sandstorm Titan here. And
And that's
Yeah,
just going to leave
that's
him
going
without
to
a
be
thret.
it. so 2
And-
damage to each unit.
And
Not going
pretty
to be
much a
enough.
concession there.
Yeah.
That will be a concession from Unex. So Kamado is going to win the first 2 and then lose 2, but will go on to take the series. So it's super interesting to watch. Thank you everybody for watching. If you like the series, we will have different games coming out, different casters. If you liked it, you didn't like it, you got comments, questions, go ahead and put it down in the comments. So for now, this is Sam Wolf,
I'm Kemper.
And I'm Victor.
and we're signing off.